What's going on, everybody? We are back to talk some Challenge All-Stars 4. I'm very excited. I don't know about you guys. Thought this was a good episode and what has been a good season, so I'm excited to talk about it with you guys. Let's not waste any time. Let's get right into it.
Let's not. Let's do it.
All right. Now, today is Thursday, May 16th, 2024. My name is John Dunphy Stuckey, of course, standing the incredible Laurel. And I'm joined, as always, by my ride or dies here, Mr. Kyle Petty Reigns. Happy to see you still standing, Tony. He deserves it.
Yeah. I'm really sorry that I did that to him. I won't do it again. I'm back, baby.
There you go.
I'm supporting my husband.
Yes. And, of course, Gina Morgino, standing no one.
You know me. I'm afraid to change my name to people.
Standing no one.
I just realized I forgot to turn the music off, too. Now it's off. All right. Well, we are Strat Chat, your favorite reality TV podcast. You can find us on the socials at Strat Chat Pod. We're out there everywhere, so go find us, throw us a like, a comment, a subscription, a follow. Leave us a nice review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. We really appreciate it. But let's get into this episode. This was episode 7 of the Challenge All-Stars 4 called Catch a Falling Star. And yeah, I felt like this was a very straightforward episode. There wasn't a lot of drama really in this one, right? We got just some strategy talk and some competition. So obviously we saw our players returning to the house from the last elimination, where Nicole eliminated Jasmine and took her star. And Nicole had been the first winner of a daily challenge to actually go down and replace a nominated person for elimination. So she went down, got her star. And good for Nicole. So we'll see where it goes with that. Where it goes from there.
My first hit.
You've taken 2 hits actually.
Now I have.
Last year, yeah,
that was my first.
Since you were last year.
All right. Since
that's right.
Baby vacation.
That's right. Yeah, Jasmine out. Gina's first hit. Still looking strong though for your team, even after this episode.
I feel okay.
Yeah. So one other thing I wanted to bring up, just because I thought this was really nice, Ryan. I've really been enjoying Ryan on the season, to be honest, and we got a little bit more of his story in this. We found out that he's actually been sober for 8 months, which absolutely love Ryan. He's been a lot of fun to watch, and I really connected with his story. You guys know I stopped drinking over 5 years ago. What, is it more than that? I don't even know. So to just hear, about his story and seeing him come back and, I think he's doing really well, at least socially on the season. So really happy to see Ryan and get to see some of his story. Another interesting little thing that I've noticed is Ace. Ace seems to get along with everybody. Okay. Now he did have a little hiccup towards the end of this episode that we'll get into when we get there, but Ace has been making friends with everybody. I know, I'm excited to see that. But before we get into it, like the one thing that I did notice also is that Flora has picked up on this. She said that she's calling him an undercover agent, making friends with everybody, but says that he's just really Cara Maria's puppet. So what do we think of Ace? Any thoughts on Ace's game so far, Kyle?
I'm just tired of Ace. I don't want to see Ace in this game anymore. He's sleeping. He's not making any good decisions. Like, not that I'm the biggest Brad fan. I don't want to jump around because you asked me what I think about Ace, and this is part of the opinion, unfortunately. But it's like you kept going on. But you have this relationship with Brad for 20-something years. But I don't know, you're gonna rate, who was it? Was it Ryan? I rate this guy higher because I was hungry one time and he threw snacks down. It's like, what the hell are you talking about? It's like, that has nothing to do with the game whatsoever. And it's like, I would never want to play the game with you because if snacks is enough to just completely usurp 20 years of knowing you, then I can't play this game with you. What is the barometer? What are we doing? I get on the couch. I don't get on the couch to find out what color it is. I go to the couch to nap. Bro, you don't know the color of the couch, though? That's where
you live there.
What are you talking right? What are you talking about? It's like, I'm just tired of him. His wishy-washy. I'm not really in the game, just around. And it's like, why are you in confessional with the stained shirt? Right, the big old stain. Did you notice that?
I actually didn't notice that.
It's like,
he's a mess. He's a mess.
It's like, look what the cat dragged in.
watch him win the whole thing.
Oh, it would take 2 full heavings to get all of the puke out.
It's so funny. Like, he was one of the people that I didn't know, like, before I came in. And when we were doing the draft, I'm not gonna lie, I was looking through the comments on, like, their post of, like, everybody who's gonna be on the season. And everybody was like, yay, Ace is back. And I was like, perfect. I want to draft him. And then John took him. And I was like, damn it, everybody likes him. And now I can't have him. So he's probably gonna do well because everybody likes him. And now I'm watching the season and I'm like, why do people like this man so much? I do not like him. I'm not having fun.
I'm not having a good time.
Oh man! All right.
What do you think about Ace?
I mean, he's all right. He's on my team, so I want him to do well. You know, he's all right. He's not
embarrassment at all.
I mean,
what do you think? I mean, he's on my team, so
he's like okay. You know, there are other people that bother me more. I think. I don't know.
No, definitely people that bother me more, but it doesn't mean he doesn't bother me.
People that bother me much less. So
right, exactly.
All fair. And then so the last thing that I had written down before we go to the daily challenge was just was really just that about Brad. Brad's been having a rough season.
He has.
He had a good showing in that first daily challenge because I think he was one of the 3 top, finishers for the men. So I think he got a star right off the bat. But since then, it's just been really L after L. At some point, his star got taken away. But I've seen some stuff coming out too now that, we're into the season and he's been eliminated. I guess he's been talking about it more, just saying that he feels like this is the worst challenge season he's ever had in his career.
It might be. There's characteristic of Brad.
Yeah. And they did say one of the, some of the stuff that I saw him saying was that right before going into the house, like a week or 2 before the game, he had to leave for the game. He had went through like a bad breakup with someone he was with for like 3 years that he was living with and all that. And then when he got there, he just apparently like could not sleep at all. And he feels like that had some of the, caused some of the issues with him. Like in that one challenge where him and Laurel were out first, where they were running around the stadium with the musical chairs thing. Like he just couldn't keep any of the information in his brain about like what section number TJ was saying or the row number or whatever. And apparently he struggled with some of that, just not getting enough rest and just being stressed out. And so it sucks because I was really looking forward to, seeing Brad throughout the whole season. But I knew once we were starting to get this story about him early on in the episode, I was like, okay, this doesn't look, he might be going, if he's not going to go home, he's probably going to elimination.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the very least.
Yeah. So, all right. We got to the daily challenge. It was, of course, TJ's favorite trivia. And this one was called Face the Facts. We find out that this was going to be a men's elimination day. And we had our players that had to break down into pairs. Basically, what was it? The bottom 4 pairs, I think, because I think there was 8 people that were in the losing group. The bottom 4 pairs maybe Ace. Frank says maybe Ace doesn't watch with Tide Pods.
Sure doesn't, or at least production doesn't use them.
But yeah, so we had the losing group was going to be the bottom 4 pairs, and only 4 of those people would actually be eligible for elimination, as it was a men's day. So what did you think of this trivia, though, compared to other past versions? Kyle, as we know, it's well documented, you are not the biggest fan of the challenge trivia.
No.
But what did you think of this iteration?
This trivia did not bother me nearly as much. It's more the timbre of TJ's voice and the fake laugh that I can't deal with. I don't like the shouting. I feel like we get a lot of that in reality TV. It just leaves me feeling a little fatigued. And there was no faux laugh. So this was fine to me. This was okay. I don't think that there was a lot of I don't think all the questions were equitable. I think asking people to spell whatever that place is in Iceland, and then asking somebody to spell mission is
wildly
crazy. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
completely crazy. and I felt like there were too many spelling questions. I thought I was at the 25th annual Putnam County, and I did not. I didn't actually think that I was watching trivia anymore. But I mean, other than that, this was the most palatable trivia I've seen in some time.
Yeah.
I just felt like it was so long. Like I said earlier, I like at one point zoned out of the I just like stopped paying attention. Then I was like, oh shit, I'm supposed to be watching the challenge. And I zoned back in and I was like, we're still doing trivia. Why is this the longest trivia I've ever seen?
Can't stop, won't stop.
It's crazy. I was like, I feel
when
like I zoned out for like 10
you
minutes.
Say,
I truly feel like I had clocked out for like 10 minutes and came back and went, oh, nothing's changed. That's so fun.
Yeah, you're right. It went on a very long time because I feel like we've been getting to the daily challenges pretty quickly in the episodes, like within the first 10-15 minutes. And by the time this competition was over, there was only like 20 minutes left in the episode. We still had to do like nominations, the whole elimination.
Yeah, I wasn't sure we were doing that this episode anymore.
Oh, you thought we were doing a cliffhanger?
Yeah, maybe it's gonna be a cliffhangers.
Right.
Maybe it's gonna be giving me the good drama.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, because I might be totally off, but I did enjoy this trivia more than other versions of it. And I felt like part of it was, and I could be, like I said, totally wrong, but I feel like in a lot of other trivia shows, not trivia shows, a lot of trivia challenges that we've seen in the past on the challenge, it'll be like random trivia questions, right? And we did get some of that, like spelling certain cities or spelling certain words or whatever. But I felt like I noticed in this version, we almost got some like Big Brother style trivia questions.
Yes,
right?
I
It was
agree.
It was like, what was the name of the second elimination that this person and this person competed in? Or what was, who competed in this competition? Yeah. And I was like, I like this.
Yes.
It's like you've got people like even the fact that I think it was Leroy that got asked a question about like who was nominated for this elimination, and he was able to name like all 4 people, which means he's paying attention. And I think of it the same way as in Big Brother, where it's like counting the days, memorizing the HOHs, and like I like that the questions had to do with the game itself, rather than just like what movie won the Academy Award for Best Picture in this year? Because I think
I know.
Yeah, and even
and how do you spell hello? Right.
right. While I agree that like the spelling wasn't equitable, like spelling that city in Iceland, and then I think Veronica was like spell fortress. It was like, okay,
sure.
But I felt like even those had to do with like, it was the whole reason that they asked for the spelling of the city in Iceland was because TJ was saying we did a season of the challenge in this country, spell the name of the city. Like it all had to do with the game, which I really liked.
Yeah,
and I assumed. Oh, sorry.
No, that was it. I had the same thought. Totally agree.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, I watching it and noticing that happening, I assumed it was because it was like an all-star season, so they were like, let's just bring it back to the challenge and other seasons of the challenge and what have you. But I would prefer if this just became the standard for trivia, is like it's based on the show that you're on.
Right. Yeah. It's not just random stuff.
And it's also fun because, like, you have these seasons where, like, and we've said we're fatigued for this reason, but, like, it's the same people over and over and over again. So, like, it's also fun to, like, call back to, like, think the last 5 seasons that you've been on and remember shit from it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, something that's relevant.
Yeah.
And if you're here, you should know some of the challenge lore. So that's what we're going to now be quizzing you on. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah.
If that's the direction that trivia took, I would not be such a vocal like opponent of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm on board.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad you're on board because I'm on board.
Are you on board?
But yeah, so good job on the trivia this time. All right.
Finally.
Yeah. Okay. Now, after this daily challenge, so let me just mention also that the 4 men that were eligible to be nominated after this were Brad, Adam, Steve, and Ryan. And I don't even think I said the winners, Leroy and Veronica. So good job, Leroy. He takes the daily challenge win.
You got one.
Good job for Veronica. Come on, everybody's like selling her short. She got one.
Yeah, that's right. I forget that Veronica's on my team.
Wow, she's on your team too, and you're still not cheering for her. That is next level. Oh, you
I
didn't
will
want her
say-
anyway. That's why she's all the way on the bottom.
No,
He still chose her. He still chose her.
It came down. I had two options with my last pick. It was either Veronica or Jasmine, and I went Veronica.
That's why I didn't feel bad about my loss last week. I was like, technically, I did not select her, so it's not really my loss.
She was
That's
given
fine.
to
I was
me.
gifted.
All right.
That's
I
true.
was gifted Jasmine.
It's not a true L in the Morgino column.
Right.
However,
Right.
I still got one.
However, I hit as a kid.
Yeah. But yes, so we got back to the house, and it was nice. They had a little pizza party here when they got back, right? And it seemed like everybody was having a good time. The mood seemed pretty light, pretty fun. The toasts were happening. You know, here's to Lee, here's to V, all that kind of stuff, right, on the Daily Challenge win. And then Ace decided to start to tell a story about this, the challenge gods, and there was a handsome knight who was given a star, and now these other two warriors, Brad and Adam, are going to go down into battle. And now Brad took this very seriously and said, "What you're already saying that it's going to be me and Adam? So like you're just saying that it's going to be me going to elimination." Brad took this very hard, did not like it. Adam,
what the hell was this?
Yeah. What did you think of Ace's story?
I thought it was stupid. And
why?
Yeah, I didn't get it.
You didn't like it?
No. And I also, I don't know who said it. Maybe it was Kara, but like, I do kind of agree with the idea of like, so when are you going to get down there and get your star? Because people keep saying, oh, it's too soon. It's too soon. Is the halfway mark too soon? I think we discussed this a little bit last week. It's like the longer you wait, the better quality of people you're going against, you know, because the layups, as we say in this environment, they already went home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And we talked about it. So actually, I'd be curious to ask Gina because she wasn't with us.
Yeah.
But like just knowing the style of the game, because this was a question I asked Kyle last week, was like, if you were in this game right now, like, would you rather have the star in your pocket and like just defending it, or trying to figure out how you were going to get it? You know what I mean? Because like with the star, you might be a target, but like there are some ways to defend it. Like Kara has had the star from the very beginning. Like you could be in the winning group where your star is safe, or you can be in the middle group and like, you know, have an influence over the votes for the nominating. Like we saw Kara do that's how Jasmine ended up in there. Like there are ways to sort of defend it. Whereas if you are at this stage of the game without a star, now it's like, all right, is someone going to steal a star for me and give it to me? Or do I have to volunteer to go into elimination? And then what if I lose and go home? Like, it's like, so what, like, do you have a preference? Like in your mind, like what would be your preferred thing right now? To have the star or not?
I feel like defending the star more than trying to figure out how to get it.
Yeah.
Because it's also, you know, like as Kyle was saying, like, you know, we saw Kara last week, like the way that she was able to navigate, like, okay, instead of like put in the two people who already have stars, so no one's going to try to like, you know, like, you know, have a star to give to somebody else rather than trying to take a star that nobody has. Like, it's easier to defend once you have it than having to go in and being like, all right, now I have to go against somebody in elimination. You don't have to necessarily go into elimination or worry about your star getting stolen if you're playing it correctly socially, because then there's also the thing of like, if you take somebody's star away, now is that like a social thing that you're going to have to figure out later that like they're going to be gunning for you? Or like if you're the person that won your way into a star, but now you're one of the weakest people with a star, are people going to be coming for you then? And it's like, I don't know. I think it's safer to like be the person having it than trying to weasel your way into the people who already have it.
I like the setup. Like there's clear pros and cons to each side of the argument.
Yeah, I feel like Kyle had a different opinion.
Yeah, Kyle definitely had a thought. I'm curious.
No, I don't have a different opinion. It's just the other side to it, because you just said like there are definite pros and cons to both sides, you know, because when you're defending, you're also just like chum in open sea, you know, just waiting for somebody to come get you. But like trying to manipulate a situation to make sure that you are in a position to steal it, I feel like is very difficult. You know, you have to make sure that you either won, or you have to throw it and lose and still hope you're voted in. Like it looks a little bit harder to get into the conversation if you're looking to gain the star. That's all.
Yeah.
And I think that I still say the answer to that question really depends on the kind of player that you are, because if you are, and I hate to say it because I really, really like Jasmine, but like she has not put up physically like other people do, right? It just is a fact. Like those are the stats. It's not shade, but like you give a star to somebody like her, she's obviously like, the star kid, and that's exactly what Kara wanted to set her up for. So what kind of a player are you? I think it depends on like what you're strong at or strongest at. And I think that, well, now an extended thought. What's so interesting about Veronica is that Veronica is not always somebody who puts up very well physically, especially like later in this or later in her challenge career, but she's so damn good at the politicking that it doesn't matter. She's not going to see it. So if you know that you can kind of maneuver that way, you've got to be really, really strong one way or the other, I think is where I'm going.
Yeah. No, totally.
Yeah.
I mean, look at what Veronica did in the last elimination. Nicole
That
was
was
about to
nuts.
take her out, and Veronica talked to her for 2 minutes, and suddenly
that is just Veronica's mist. The Veronica's vapors.
I was also like, I was shocked that she was able to do that. Like the fact that TJ even gave her the opportunity to change her mind.
That we talked about that too. I was surprised that once like you made the decision, I figured it was set in stone.
Yeah.
Especially, and it's one thing to like make the decision and then like very quickly after be like, you know what? No, I was wrong. I want to go this way. But like Nicole had gotten down there. Kyle, you said Jasmine was already standing back up with the
was settled. I still call foul. That should not have been allowed.
That was crazy.
Should not have been allowed. I do think that Kyler's comments here really kind of like bookends my whole thing here, because remember the season that Lolo quit because they iced her out and they were just not going to let her get a skull. I remember that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, like it was. She left because she's like, you know what? There's literally no point in me staying here because they're not going to let me get. I'm not going to get to see a final anyway, so I might as well just go.
The skulls were formatted the same way as the stars.
Yes.
Were you able to steal them? Or was it just like you went to elimination and if you won, you got a skull and then it was just yours? I don't remember if there was like a stealing of it or if it was like a giving away of it. I don't remember that. I know that you had to go to elimination, you had to beat somebody, then you earned a skull. But as far as like stealing and all that stuff, because I don't remember the specifics of that.
Yeah, I think you're right, because I think in that particular season there were people that had multiple skulls, didn't they, on their, because they put the skull on your helmet, and I remember there being some people that had multiple skulls because they had more than one elimination win.
Right, like I remember Jay kept getting thrown in, and he had like 3 skulls at one point.
Yeah,
and then he got eliminated, and it was just because he was in like 4 straight eliminations.
Right, but I think conceptually it still hits the mark. Like it's still like Lolo was never going to be allowed to see an elimination, so like if you can't get that skull, you weren't allowed. Oh, there we go. Yeah, Kyler confirms. No, you could not steal. There were just 6 or 8, and
Jay got 2. That's what it was.
Yeah, so Kylie says, "Get out of here with your inflated numbers. Don't give Jay."
I said 3. Okay.
And I added a whole lot of context to that. All Kylie said was Jay got 2, and I made it into a jab.
Yeah, Kyle said, "Yeah, idiot."
But just once again, just thank you to Kyler for always being here to
come through with the memory too. Damn.
Yeah. So. Thanks.
Like
thanks. Always awesome to have Kyler watching, and JB, Kyle's boy is soft. That's
Kyle's
so good.
favorite player on the challenge.
My goodness gracious.
So what was the 2 he won? Was that the season where he beat CT also? Was it a Saf and then CT or something? I don't remember.
Yeah.
At some point he beat CT and it was very annoying, and it's even more annoying now.
It'll never not be annoying.
Yeah. All right. So where are we at here? All right. We had our nominations. Obviously, Adam was going around telling everybody that like I want to go get my star back. So every single person that was voting said Adam's name, but the other name was a little bit more difficult to decide. We did have 3 votes for Brad, though. 2 for Ryan, and then a random one for Steve from Tina. And there was some emphasis on Tina's constant wishy-washy back and forth on her votes, and this was no different. So, but we did end up still with Adam and Brad. And that's who was going into elimination. And this elimination, I got to say, I'm glad that we got to see what this finally was.
Yeah.
What did you think? So this was the cheat codes. This was the one that we were supposed to get. I think it was the second elimination or the third elimination of the season that we were supposed to get it. But that was when Janelle had quit on us.
Oh.
So they brought it back. This is the one with the 2 big video game controllers. And then across from there, there's these large video boards that display these long cheat codes that the players would have to memorize, run back to their big video game controller, and then input each part of the sequence of this code in order on their controller. And the first player to complete this obviously would take the win. So what did you think? We had to wait for this elimination. Was it as good as you hoped?
No.
Oh my god.
It was fine. It was fine. I mean, we were hyped about something that we didn't really know what it was. You know, we saw video game controllers and it just looked exciting. When you actually see it,
No, yeah. No, I agree.
I didn't care that much. It was fine.
Yeah.
It was fine. I always think of production in these moments, though, you know, because I thought of them then when I said, oh my gosh, if I was the person that came up with cheat codes and then like this chick over here quits and now my game doesn't get played, like what the hell? But then like what about the elimination that should have been this night and then cheat codes replaced it? That person really got screwed. You ain't never gonna see your game. So like, what is the elimination that we didn't get to see?
Right.
Well, I mean, I do wonder if like there was supposed to be a double somewhere that then became 2 singles and they like spaced it out or something.
That feels a lot better. So nobody's getting ripped off here. All eliminations still get to be seen, right? People's creativity are not being stifled.
Unless they just like got rid of like a pole wrestle or something somewhere. And they're like, we've done this one before.
Whatever.
You know?
Low budget. We didn't have to build anything for it. It's just a pole we found on the side of the seashore.
No, yeah, I don't disagree with you at all in your assessment there. Honestly, I gotta be honest, I didn't like fully pay attention to this once it started. But it didn't seem like it was very easy to tell how close it was or not. Like they were just running back and forth a lot, right? So that's why
that kind of takes me out of it a little bit. Yep.
Right. So like the excitement.
Yeah, I'm way more invested if I get to watch the push and pull of like who's ahead, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why once they were just running back and forth and it just seemed like we couldn't really tell much of what was going on. I was like, all right, I'm gonna finish making the graphics for the stream tonight.
Let me finish my lunch for work tomorrow.
Yeah, then I'll see who wins. But Adam did win this one, meaning that Brad unfortunately was eliminated, which sucks. I always hate to see Brad go out. I like Brad. I'll always like Brad, you know. But Adam did take his star back from Ace specifically, who had got on his whole rant the night before about how Adam and Brad would be the Warriors. He basically was like, yeah, come and take my star back. I don't know why.
Also, I got so annoyed when they were trying to figure out who everybody was voting for. And he made it see, now this is really hard. I don't know who I'm going to vote in. And it's like, you just went on this whole rant where you wrote this story about the people that you want to go into elimination. And now you're going to make it I don't know who to vote in. This is so hard. Yeah. What do you mean? You just told the whole house who you're voting in.
I know. Oof.
Also, I know, Kyle, you had made a comment about Cara talking about, and I think it was at this moment after the elimination where Cara was like, I don't know what people were thinking with just being so nonchalant about not having stars or giving them away. And Derek also made a comment here. It's very weird the way that Ace is acting about just losing his star and basically giving it away. So I wonder how that'll if Ace is in the bottom, I could see him becoming an easy throw in for elimination. If people are does this guy even want to be here? You know, I don't know. Like, I wonder if this will affect his game at all. If now Kara has made a comment about it, Derek makes a comment about it, is that enough to get people talking in the house of like, let's just get Ace out of here because he doesn't really want to be here anyway?
Yeah, it could be, but wasn't he just given that star by somebody else? Somebody gave it to him, right?
I think it might have been Steve. I think Steve
Yeah,
gave him Keith star.
wonder. Yeah, I wonder if in an attempt, because you gotta put yourself in. This is the one little spot that I might defend Ace a little bit, because like if you're playing this such a similar game with people that you've known for a really, really long time, I'm sure they're kind of giving you some crap about the fact that you were just given this star. So maybe like, you know what? Let me just also make this a little bit simpler for everybody, because we are playing a game, right? We don't want to take it that seriously. If there's anyone you should be stealing a star from me, stealing star from rather, it should be me, because like this was just handed to me. I didn't really earn this. So like to take my friends out of what could be a potentially uncomfortable situation, I'll just say, hey, just take mine. I'll just go down and just go get it when I'm supposed to.
Yeah.
I get that.
That's very fair. That's fair.
I'll give him
absolutely. That. Yeah. And I guess he's probably not set up in the same way. Like, because it was weird. Like Jasmine was also given a star, right? And we talked about how she's not the biggest physical threat and all that. So like, it makes her a bigger target, a starget, right? That people are like, oh, Jasmine's an easy win if I want to get my star. But what we found out was that Kara had to fight to get Jasmine in there, because Kara and Jay talked about how insulated Jasmine really was, and people didn't realize it. So it's funny because you saw somebody in Jasmine get given a star and nobody wanted to come after her. Whereas Ace, it's like the total opposite approach. He's basically saying, come and take it. Like, it's fine. But I wonder if that's just the difference of, like, we saw Flora in the beginning of this episode talking about how Ace is Kara's puppet. We know that Kara doesn't have a ton of allies in there, right? So maybe it was a smarter move for Ace to say, like, listen, like, go ahead, take it. I know I didn't really earn it.
Not fighting.
But
still be mad at me.
Yeah. I don't know, though. I don't know. I wonder if he hadn't made the big show and spectacle of it, if maybe people wouldn't have come for it. I'm curious.
Who else has stars of the men?
Leroy got one. And Steve. Leroy, Steve. And going into this, it was Ace. Now it's Leroy, Steve, and Adam. I don't think that Adam would have wanted to take it from Steve. For some reason, if I feel like there's like a connection between like Steve, Ace, and Adam. I don't know why.
It could be. Didn't Adam's star get stolen though?
It did. I forget from who though.
Did it go to Ace?
It's possible that Steve took it from Adam and gave it to Ace. I honestly don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember that either.
No. Steve took it from Kifla. That's right, because he beat Kifla and gave that one to Ace. So I forget who took it. Maybe Kyler can tell us. She's still here. Tell us who took Adam's star.
And yes, Kyler, Stargate is now part of our challenge. Okay.
I love Stargate.
Yeah, I think it's fantastic. Way to go, Kara. Although I feel like production was like, hey, you want a gem? Stargate.
Well, she also called herself Stara Maria when she got her star. So
I missed that.
No, I liked Stara Maria. That was a good one.
That's when she.
I'm not going to really give that any shine, but I like Stargate.
Stara Maria. Okay, but yes, I'm sorry, Gina. You have taken a couple hits in the last couple weeks.
That's what happens when you take PTO from the podcast.
PTO.
Oh damn! I go to visit my niece, and this is my payback. Damn.
You lose. You lose multiple. Yep.
I love how you're describing it as PTO, as if it's not just TO.
You did pay. You lost 2 team members.
That's true. I will say though, Gina, you're still looking the best of any of us because I've lost 3, right? Rachel, Janelle, and Tyree. Kyle has lost 4. Tony, Brandon, Ayana, and Kifla. But of the people you have left, I think they're all going far. I got to be honest. Those 4.
Right. Listen, there can only be one winner. So I am very thrilled with who I have left. Did anybody also clock the gnarly bruise on Ryan's arm?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Jeez, did that come from falling off the trivia platform? Like, what is that?
I don't know at what point they film these confessionals. So I was like,
Right.
is this an injury yet to come? Like, what has happened to you? I haven't noticed this before.
Yeah, it looked really bad, like whatever that was.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. But all right. So on the next on, we got a few interesting little things happening. Did you guys watch the next on?
I know.
yes,
did,
because I
but
saw
don't remember.
Laurel screaming at Kara.
Yes. So we're finally going to get that. It looks like this week coming up.
Yes.
But it looks like Kara is going to get it from both sides of the showman. So the first thing we saw on the next on was Cam saying, Kara's, honestly, this actually, now that I'm looking at all these notes, this is a rough next on for Cara Maria. Because the first thing that we see is Cam saying that she wants a star, and we know that specifically means she wants to take Kara's star from her. The Daily Challenge looks interesting. We see Nicole and Kara getting into it, yelling at each other. And I think Nicole is straight up just like, if you want to do this, let's fucking go. Like, she's pretty much just like ready to fight, it seems like. And then, like Kyle mentions, Laurel screaming in Kara's face. So
Yikes.
I guess we'll see
Mhm.
see what's going on with Kara next episode. But do you guys have any other thoughts for this episode or the next on or anything else regarding the Challenge All Stars 4?
I don't think so.
Yeah, this one was really straightforward. I don't really have a ton to add.
Right.
No, yeah.
I feel like things kind of this was a setup for the weeks to come.
Yeah.
Kyler did issue a PSA to everyone. So the people who are audio only, very important to hear this. Season 40 of the challenge finished filming over the weekend. So be careful on the socials. It's a really, really great time to remind you to block GamerVev. Okay?
Yeah.
GamerVev always is posting the spoilers on the Twitter, and people who enjoy that, hey, have at it. I know that I don't. So.
Yeah, GamerVev is the reason that we couldn't do a draft for USA 2 because I was spoiled on the entire season.
Yes. So I mean, if you're into it, hey, great. I think it's wonderful. There's certainly a sect of people that truly, truly enjoy the spoilization. I know I do not. I like to enjoy it as it goes. So if you're like me, give it a block, but with respect. Give sad face as you hit the block. Sad face. We're lamenting. We're so sorry. So providing a wonderful service for the people, but it's just not for me. It's not an angry block. Okay, it's nice. It's with love and respect.
Yeah.
This is not slander for the GamerVev.
Now, the GamerVev, provides a service, but it's just not one that we're interested in.
Right. So I didn't sign up for this service. I don't have a subscription.
Yeah. But all right, I guess we'll see what happens. Yeah, I'm just excited to see where we go from here in the season. TJ keeps saying last week it was halfway through. Now he made sure to say in this episode we're more than halfway through, but it feels like we still have a lot of people in there. So I'm wondering if we're going to get a purge of some kind or a double coming up or something like that. So for all we know, TJ could just throw out there one daily challenge, be like, whoever loses this is just going home, which I would also kind of enjoy. So much to look forward to. All right. What else do we have coming up, though? Us as a podcast, right? This Monday, right? The 20th, we're going to be talking Survivor 46. And that'll be, we'll be going into finale week then, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's like the finale eve pod.
Yeah. So,
and the last Monday for the foreseeable future.
That's right. That's right.
The last Mon Monday.
Last Mon Monday. Wow. We have to play that thing a lot that night.
Every 10 minutes.
All right. So this Monday, the 20th, that'll be what time? 9 p.m., right? 9 p.m. Eastern time.
9 p.m.
Yeah, we'll be talking Survivor 46, the most recent episode. And then next Thursday, are we doing the double feature?
I would like to.
I would like to
Um,
as well.
I'm still tentative. Um, the 23rd is my partner's birthday. I need to make sure there aren't festivities.
Right.
Um,
Okay.
but if
Okay.
there aren't, I'm here. If there is, then hey, carry on without me. You don't have to.
It's a
It's fine.
finale.
I'm not going to win. So
Well, I'm
I'm
already
not saying I
out.
don't care, but like, you don't have to hold for me either.
I mean, you might.
I don't know.
You still
I
got
don't.
one, and she's a
I
pretty
do
Mikey and
strong
still
I-
have one, but I'm
contender.
not sure that she
Yeah.
has an argument to win.
I think she could. She makes it, depending on what happens. We're talking about Kenzie, of course, right?
There's a
Listen,
world.
I'm now in the same boat as Mikey. We're just down to the battle of the unwanted draft picks. The losers
Who are
that
both
no one
somehow
picked,
still here,
who are
final
both
five.
still there. Yeah. God damn. But all right, yeah. So that's Survivor 46 Monday, 9 p.m. Eastern time, pre-finale, and then this Thursday or next Thursday, that's the 23rd. We'll be talking the Challenge All Stars 4 again, and possibly Survivor 46 finale. So we'll see. Keep an eye on the socials. Keep an eye on the socials. We'll post something.
Yeah, or hang out with us Monday. Hopefully, we have a decision by then.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that's it. So thank you everybody for hanging out tonight. Please find us on the socials at Strat Chat Pod. We're a fun time. We'd love to hear from you. So we're on all the social media, platforms at Strat Chat Pod. Throw us a like, a comment, a subscription, a follow. Give us a really nice review on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. We'll see you soon. Have a great night.
Yeah.
Lido.